Viewer contributions make local programming possible on WNIN. Become a member of WNIN with your contribution so we can continue to make this programming available. Visit WNIN.org and click on the donate button.
On this episode of WNIN Newsmakers, we'll take a look at the job market in the region. Is it looking up or down? Where can job seekers get help? And what efforts are being made to attract talent? We'll also learn more about local business anchor industries. WNIN Newsmakers is up next. Welcome to WNIN Newsmakers. I'm April Nading. The employment market in the Evansville area has remained fairly consistent for several years now. So what's the outlook moving forward? Here to answer our questions about this is Sarah Wurstel, Executive Director of the Southwest Indiana Workforce. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, thank you.
So tell me about, what do you guys do in the first place? What is SWIN?
So SWIN Workforce, or Southwest Indiana Workforce, is an organization, a nonprofit organization that helps to really build the workforce and create strategies to provide a skilled workforce in a Southwest Indiana region.
So you say skilled workforce. So are you talking about all jobs, or are you talking about a particular kind?
So not only skilled meaning technical skills, so that could be welding, industrial maintenance, and the like, but also those employability skills, the soft skills. Sometimes individuals we serve just need a little bit of self-confidence and being able to succeed in the job market as well.
So how do you do that? How do you go about helping with those things?
Yeah, so through our Work One offices, we have different programs and services available to individuals, which range from one-on-one career counseling. We also have interviewing workshops or mock interviews. We can also help with resume development. And then we can also help individuals point to any kinds of training that they may need, ultimately with job placement.
So I was just wondering if you did like role playing and stuff like that, because I could see where that could be, as much as I used to be in sales, as much as we hated the role playing, it was also very beneficial.
Yes. So a lot of times with mock interviews, I think that is one of the ways that we can help individuals kind of get through some of those jitters if they've got them, whether they've not interviewed in a long time, or if it's a different industry that they're moving into.
Trying to change careers?
Yeah,
right?
So that can be sometimes the ways that we role play, especially with interviews.
So how is the job market looking in our region?
So one thing that's very unique about our area is that we have such a diverse job makeup. So having a variety of positions that are available, we, through our Work One office, put out a job listing every week. And just this last week, it's a wide variety of positions. So there's anything from engineering to route driver. We've also got some professional support or support service occupations with local nonprofits. And then we also have production and industrial maintenance. So a lot of the positions that are open in our 9-county area are so diverse that anyone should be able to find something that would suit their needs.
So do you think right now it's up or down as far as unemployment in this area?
So looking at unemployment for December of 2024, which would be the most recent, it is down from November of 2024, but then also we are about 1% less than the state average. So that really shows that our region has a tremendous job market and lots of openings.
So this area tends to have a lot more, I guess, I'm assuming a little more factory type jobs, manufacturing, do you think, than other parts of the state? I mean, is that one of the things that helps, or?
I think the diversity in the makeup of the jobs that we have open and the industries that we have. While we may think that our area is heavier in the industrial occupations, I think it really shows that as of late, we've seen a lot more professional service positions come open.
So what type of occupation do you think will have the most growth in this area?
I think in this area, we do see a greater growth within industrial and professional technical skills.
What about, are there any occupations that may have fewer jobs moving forward? Like you see that, okay, this is on the way out or this is on the way in?
We have seen a little bit of a decline in retail. I think that's probably no surprise, especially with the moves towards online shopping. We have seen some major retailers in our area make announcements, unsure of what the future holds for those specific locations in our area. But that is something that we continue to watch, particularly retail, and then also provide services to help those individuals or any individual that may be faced with a job loss move back into employment quickly.
So, you're talking about like the retail jobs and how so many things now are online, but is a lot of that even because it's been harder to find people to work the retail jobs? It just seems like after COVID in particular, and maybe that's even another question, is are we still feeling the effects from COVID in the job market?
I think that with our unemployment rate pretty steady at about that 3%, maybe a little bit above, but I think that he had even come to play before the pandemic. So I think our area has really maintained in that job market pretty well.
Because it seems like just about any retail type job has a help wanted sign anymore. So, and I worked retail for years. So is it changing where maybe people don't want to work retail as a starting job? They think they need to do something else, or?
I think some of it just goes with the opportunities that we have in this area. There's so many opportunities and opportunities for upskilling, whether you need to attend just a little bit of training or even look at a full degree program. I think it's just a testament to such opportunity that our area has.
So the next time you hear someone say they can't find a job,
you're welcome to point them to our direction. You can visit our Work One offices. You can definitely help them with a resource that they should be able to.
But we don't need to sit around and feel sorry for them, is the point. Because there are lots of jobs, is what you're saying.
There are a lot of positions opening in a wide variety.
So if someone does lose their job, what are some of the steps they need to take to try and, well, first of all, maybe to even just get unemployment?
We have computers in our offices, in our Work One offices, that individuals can access to file for unemployment. All unemployment claims are completed online. So if you are computer savvy, there may not be a reason to come in, but one of the benefits about visiting our offices is the one-on-one career counseling. If someone needs to make an industry change or a career change, we do have individuals, we call them employment specialists, that can help walk through one-on-one really what that would take. So, it could be somebody would like to move into a communications role or even into a direct service role. That's something that our employment specialists can help evaluate skills and then also be able to offer occupations that they could easily transition into.
So there's a couple of things. If somebody loses their job, they can, or maybe the first thing would be filing for unemployment, and then the second would be trying to go through the counseling and stuff to figure out how to get another job, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Unemployment, I don't know that much about how it works. I suppose that it's only going to last for a certain amount of time, and they have to look for another job while they're getting it.
Typically, unemployment claims set up for 26 weeks. There are some job search requirements that would have to be fulfilled for unemployment claims.
Okay. Only reason why I don't know about that much is my husband he's an electrician, and sometimes they're laid off, but it's different for them because they're with the union, and so it is a little bit different.
Yeah.
What are some of the other programs that are provided for job seekers? I know you've touched on some of them already, but
we can help an individual with any job training that they may need, whether that is hard skills or technical skills. We can help point in the direction of training providers for a specific skill. There also may be financial resources available to help assist with gaining that skill. We also offer job fairs. Our Evansville office particularly hosts job fairs at least twice a month. All that information is posted on our social media pages. But then also job placement. We can help with individuals moving into their next opportunity.
Why do you think, or how do you think job fairs are helpful to somebody?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece about job fairs and how beneficial they can be for a job seeker is that it gives you a wide variety of potential. So it could be that you may talk to an organization or a business that you wouldn't even think about hiring. We'll just use an accountant as an example, that you may then find that they have an accounting position open. So it gives the opportunity to kind of widen that job search and be able to talk to a variety and a multitude of businesses really at one stop.
Well, and I would think there would also be some positives about being able to see them, talk to them face to face. And what do you suggest people bring to a job fair? Or even how they should dress?
Yep, we always suggest that individuals dress for the job that they want. So if they're coming into a job fair, be as professional as possible, shake hands, make eye contact, and then also be sure to bring updated copies of resumes. At our job fairs, individuals can make copies of their resume to hand out, come in a little bit earlier or even the day before, and also have someone review that resume and make sure that it's up to date and in tip-top shape.
Talking about how to dress, which that's one of my pet peeves, but let's say somebody is just going to apply, they're wanting to work in a factory, but how would they want to dress for an interview? I mean, I would think they'd want a little more than the T-shirt and jeans.
Oh, certainly. Business casual may not have to be a full suit, but definitely something that is free of rips and tears and a professional business casual look.
Have you found also that employers have kind of had to change their perspective on what they expect out of employees, maybe even to look like, as far as, let's say, tattoos and things like that over the years? I mean,
I think there has been some softening of those perceptions, but I think that individuals should, be as professional as possible for when they're looking for employment.
Right. Even if it's not a professional job, it's still, try to look the part.
Yeah.
So how do you work with employers to make that match between employee and employer?
Yeah, so job fairs certainly are not just to benefit individuals, but also businesses. In many of our job fairs, we could have upwards of 40 to 50 people. So employers who are looking for individuals, that's a pretty big audience to be able to tell the story of what jobs are open. But also we have a whole team dedicated to serving employers in our region. They talk with employers about apprenticeship programs. So many people think of the trade unions. You mentioned that your husband's an electrician, but many people think of the trade unions as the ones that have apprenticeship programs. But really, in fact, any occupation could be an apprenticeship program and build out a standardized training program. So we work with employers to build out apprenticeship programs, help with employee retention. So it's not just potential employee attraction, but also retention, upskilling their current workforce, and then also provide those job matching services as well.
So how do you help them with retention? How does that work?
So we just kind of start asking questions.
Right.
What is average employee turnover? And then understand how they're using any kinds of resources that may be available. So a key example that I could use is a company had come to us and said that they have problems keeping people over 90 days. And so we asked what it is about the end of 90 days that has kept some individuals. They've said that they start to build camaraderie, working relationships. So our suggestion really was to build out a mentorship program in the beginning of the 90-day first employment days, and be able to pair individuals that are just coming into that workplace with individuals that have been there for longer than the 90 days, and to build that buddy system or a mentorship to really foster relationships and build value in those employees.
So how do they respond to suggestions like that?
Most employers will take that. And keeping your current employees really is a much better way than having constant turnover.
Right.
So, we look at different ways that other employers are focusing on employee retention, whether that is upskilling. That's a great way to improve employee retention, is to build an individual's skills, and then help with promotion as well.
So have you ever had an employer that maybe you found out they're just a terrible place for people to work, and so you don't, I don't want you to mention names, but so you don't refer people there anymore? Or how do you handle something like that?
We have a lot of conversations about wages, working environment. We may not put them on a do not refer list, but it certainly is a topic of conversation with individuals that may be interested in that certain place to work. So we do talk about what the wages would be, and then also the working environment. So it really kind of self-selects on where an individual would get referred.
Just to get them kind of a heads up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in reality, there is no perfect place. I mean, there are problems everywhere, but, people have to pick and choose. I think it's like a regular relationship, which things you can live with and which things are deal breakers, cause for divorce. What are some of the youth-oriented programs for career development?
We are proud to have the Jobs for America's Graduates program in our region. It's commonly referred to as JAG. It is a national program.
Now, is this high school or college?
It's based in high schools.
Okay.
We also have middle school programs, so that's been an exciting expansion for us. We now have 16 JAG programs in our 9-county region, and that focuses, it has a dedicated curriculum which focuses on employability skills. So helping a student understand the possibilities after high school. It is one that helps students to stay on track to graduate. So we want to make sure that career exploration, and then also what kinds of skills are required for such careers, is prominent throughout our JAG programs. Those students also compete in a regional career development conference, and then the top finishers head on to state. We just completed state on March the 14th, and we're proud that we did have some top finishers come from our region. So we're excited to celebrate those successes as well. But really, that dedicated program within the schools provides mentorship because it does have a dedicated JAG specialist. So that is a very key component to the success of our JAG programs.
So how are you finding that this is working? Now, how long did you say you've had this program?
We have had the JAG program since 2007.
Okay, so how are you finding that's helping with, people, I guess, get into the workforce or make their career decisions?
Our JAG programs roughly have a 96% graduation rate. So these are students that have been identified as potentially not finishing high school, or they have some kind of barrier to finish. But really that success relies on those JAG specialists. We have a 97% connectivity rate. So the students that have graduated a year post-graduation maintain connection. We find that helps students navigate that first year of post-secondary, because that is one of the key metrics, is post-secondary. They also can help navigate that first year of employment if that's the path that that student has chosen.
Wow, I think that sounds like a great idea. I wish they'd had that when I was in school, but just to help get you on the right track, if nothing else.
And navigate that first year after.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the strengths and weaknesses of our region, do you think, when it comes to jobs?
You know, I think that, as I'd mentioned, that one key strength is the variety in the job market, right? And then also, you know, some of the barriers that we see individuals face as they move into employment is access to affordable childcare, as well as transportation. But in our region, we have very strong organizations that come together to alleviate those barriers.
That's great. Well, tell me about how people can, I know you've mentioned it earlier, but how can people get more information and in touch with you guys?
Yeah, connect with SWIN Workforce on social media, but you can also visit any of our Work One offices in the Southwest area and connect with employment specialists as well.
And online, is it workforce.com? What is it? Workforce One? SWIN?
SWIN, SWIN, workforce.org.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. This is some good information.
Thank you.
Welcome to a special segment of Newsmakers where we spotlight a local business. Today, we're here with Kristen Magavero, Vice President of Sales at Anchor Industries. Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate the invitation. I'm happy to be able to come here and talk about Anchor Industries.
So tell me about what products or services your business offers.
Well, Anchor Industries manufactures tents for the event rental space as well as disaster relief and government projects. And we pride ourselves in saying we can make tents 10 feet to 100 feet, canopies to clear span. That's expanded because now we can make them up to 50 meters, which I can't do that math in my head right now, but we make very, very large clear span structures as well. We're also in safety pool covers. We make a lot of different shade products. We have a new product, which is a pergola, which is both metal louvers for the top, as well as fabric tops. And we make forest fire shelters for firefighters. So those are packs that they actually carry with them if they're a forest firefighter. It's a safety product. It is specifically government issued. We're one of 3 manufacturers in the US. So we make only outdoor products, but some of them are for fun and some of them are for safety.
All right. So you're a local company, but your product is going everywhere.
Product is going everywhere. Majority in the lower 48 states, but we do have a lot of international clients for both shade and for tents and our clear span structures.
So how long has Anchor Industries been in business and how did it even get started?
Anchor has been around since 1892, so we're over 130 years old at this point. A really neat piece of Anchor lore is that my great-great-grandfather and his best friend, so Louis A. Dawes is my relative, my ancestor, and his best friend Peter Emmerich, they, in their mid to late 20s, bought the business from the current owner, who was in his mid to late 40s, who thought it was time to retire because he was getting too old for the business.
Okay.
And life expectancy was a little bit shorter back then. And so Anchor Industries at that time was called Anchor Supply. And we were down on the waterfront. I believe it was on Water Street, where we had a manufacturing and a facility and a store. We were majority supplying barges that came along the Ohio River for tarpaulins, fixtures, and a couple other things they might need, I think, like cans of oil and glue. But with the purchase by Louis and Peter, they decided, you know, we can manufacture more things for the town and folks that are coming through town, not on a barge. So there came awnings for storefronts, there came wagon covers, revival camp tents, and from there it just really catapulted into a lot more mainstream manufacturing for land-based applications.
So but it sounds like they're continually looking for ways to evolve and advance. I mean,
Yes.
do you have a team that's doing that, or how does that work?
Well, Anchor is uniquely positioned that we're B2B. So we sell to a group of folks in different markets that have the know-how to not only measure for the product and quote the product, but they can install and maintain it. So we work in partnership with them. We have an incredible engineering design team, and we've got subject matter experts on our sales and our purchasing team that will come up with ideas. But oftentimes it's in partnership with a customer that has a crazy idea or they're solving a problem, which I do love. That is something that brings us a lot of joy, being able to solve that problem for them. And either it's a potentially a new stock product for the marketplace, or it's a custom design.
So how did you get involved in the business?
I am fifth generation with the family, which is just an incredible opportunity, I would say. Not many people have the opportunity to jump into a family business, let alone something that is fifth generation. More so here, I think we have just a plethora of family-owned businesses, and we have a couple more that are also fifth generation. But if you look across the landscape of the United States of America, there aren't many fifth generation family businesses. I love that we make something. We're a small company, we're very agile, and we can respond to customer needs pretty quickly. We've got a team member force of a little over 350 now that work here in Evansville. We do have sales reps that are across the country. We have 14 sales reps that don't live here in Evansville that sell a myriad of our products. But having this workforce here, everybody technically under the same roof. We have 3 manufacturing facilities within a little complex just west of the airport. But being that close, and that I can walk over to engineering, that a sales rep can go speak with purchasing, it just gives us the ability to respond quickly, to come up with ideas and test them on site. It's really an amazing place to work. I never thought I would be involved in products and in manufacturing, but I really have enjoyed it.
Well, and that's great. So how do you see Anchor growing and expanding in the future?
I think with the workforce that we've developed here, I think we're going to start really investing in automation to increase our capacity. Our customer bases are growing. The markets that we serve are changing. So having some of the automation to work alongside our current team member workforce will allow us to have more organic growth here without acquisition. I also see us looking for complementary products. Our safety pool covers are incredible. They're, I would say, the best in the business, but that's the only place where we serve the residential pool market. I'd like to be able to bring complementary products such as pool liners or automatic pool covers for folks that want to close their pool each night, because the safety pool cover is just for the opening and closing. And then in the shade space, I think we'll be developing some new shade products for daycares, for parks and rec, and for youth sports complexes to provide shade, which is not only just something that people want, but it also is a bit of a safety product for them to protect them from UV rays.
So what challenges has Anchor Industries faced, and how were they overcome?
I think we've had 2 challenges most recently, and that is seeking out hard skills, such as folks with engineering degrees that want to apply them into the markets that we serve, which is kind of niche, I think. Skills such as welding and sewing. We've got a great training program. We have a great training facility, but it really helps us integrate team members quicker if they come in with those hard skills. We'll train for it, and we've been training for it for years, and we continue to improve that training process for hard skills, but it would just cut out a lot of that time to be able to integrate them more quickly into the team, because there really is a need. We have a lot of customers needing a lot of product, and we want to make sure that we can deliver on time. So that's, I'd say the hard skills is one problem, but we have overcome with better training and I think better recruiting through our people ops team. Another place where our people ops team is helping to move the needle, we have an incredibly diverse workforce, and with that comes the challenge of English as a second language.
Right.
People ops, along with our leadership team, decided we were going to go all in, and we have brought in Vincent University to teach English as a second language on time, regular work schedule, and showing that investment in team members to get them to be able to communicate with the rest of the team. And for the team members that English is a first language, seeing that investment in our team, it has just really strengthened our communication and our commitment to the team as a whole.
But it's an investment.
It's an investment, and it's with professionals. It wasn't forcing our people ops team or somebody in leadership to go and teach these classes. We have professional teachers that come and teach the class. And we also have some Spanish-speaking classes as well for some of our leaders who want to be able to communicate much better with their team members who don't have English as their first language right now.
And that makes sense. Everybody can communicate together. Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot about it. So. Thanks Thanks to all of our guests today for sharing information about the job market in our area. Next week, we'll take a look at the history and the future of the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in downtown Evansville. I'm April Nading. Thanks for watching WNIN Newsmakers.